In this video, I'm going to give out some no-nonsense practical advice for HVAC techs. Our video sponsor for today is SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com has just a wealth of parts available for the common brands like Carrier and Trane, and then your not-so-common brands like Reznor or Liebert, or all those brands that you rarely see, except if you're that one commercial guy who works on Liebert 24 hours a day. You know who you are. There's always one of you out there. So to find these parts and a lot more deals, go to SupplyHouse.com. Now I'm going to give you some advice which some of it seems really common sense, and some of it might be less common sense. But we're going to start out with something that should be very common sense. And you know what? Maybe for the older techs that have weathered several summers, maybe this is a little bit more of a big deal, and maybe you've learned this already. But for the love of God, on a hot day when you don't know where your next service call is, do not eat at places like Arby's. If you roll up to Arby's and order 50 roast beef sandwiches for your crew, you may find yourself in a world of hurt. If you're going to Taco Bell and you're going to get the pizza Del Grande, Del Fuego, Diablo, then you may want to die later in the day when you're in the attic. My advice to you, trust me, it comes from experience. Keep the lunches light on hot days where you don't know where you're going after lunch. You see this guy right here? This is a magnetic pickup tool. And a magnetic pickup tool is your best friend sometimes. Sometimes you drop something inside of a unit and you, for the love of God, don't want to have to take apart a unit to get to it. Magnetic pickup tool. And this is just the one I have here at the shop, but there's a lot of different ones out there. You can find a slim design that'll fit in between the top grates of most air conditioners and heat pumps. It's just a great thing to have. Or if you just can't reach something, they extend out. And I'm going to tell you what, there's plenty of times when I've had just the worst possible luck on a job site. Maybe I drop something in between a grate and I can't reach it. Or there's something at the back of a commercial air handler and I can't get my arm back there. Magnetic pickup tool can be a lifesaver. And let me tell you what, you may not know it yet, but you will find out one day you should have bought it. Staying in the same vein of tools, this guy right here, these are wire crimpers. So if you have terminals that you need to crimp, Stacons that you need to crimp, like for a contactor or just any wiring terminal onto a board, your female wire spades that you had to put on boards, definitely get a crimper. Do not use your side cutters. Don't use needle nose pliers. Don't hit them with a hammer. Don't sit on them. Don't run over them with your truck. Get the proper tool. They will last longer and grip better if you actually use a set of wire crimpers. If you don't use a set of wire crimpers, that's where you get a little bit of movement, a little bit of heat, and you end up causing a problem for the future instead of solving a problem today. We're just going to keep rolling with tools because I have another tool right here, and it is this. These are mini bolt cutters. These are Crescent, but Knipex Knipex makes a pair of these. And you wouldn't think that these come up very often, but having these mini bolt cutters to cut like a helix out of a flex duct, or just something that you normally wouldn't be able to cut with your linesman's pliers, like maybe a nail or something, these come in super handy. And I've used these so many times, I cannot even tell you. I originally got this pair for an episode of what I did called the Skilled Trade Up. And it was a game show that I did on YouTube where we gave away tools. And no one ever won this particular set. So I ended up keeping it. And boy, I'm glad I did because they come in handy all the time. And this is something that you can buy that's pretty cheap. The crimpers are pretty cheap. The magnetic tool is pretty cheap. A lot of this stuff you can get at Harbor Freight. You don't have to get the best brand out there. But they'll end up doing a great job for you, and you will love yourself, and you'll love me more because you bought them. I love you guys. Another tip, since it is summertime, I told you about not going to Taco Bell, and trust me, you learn that one, it's trial by fire. If you really don't, you want to listen to me on that one. Be a preemptive strike, because it can be nuclear, and your van mates will hate you. Another one. Something that I always did that, it sounds really common sense, but don't blast the AC on Antarctic cold in between service calls. I found that when my body goes from attic to Antarctica to attic to Antarctica, it makes the misery twice as bad. I don't know whether it's just going from one extreme to the other. Maybe you get used to a certain thing and it's hard to switch back and forth. But if you can go with windows down, you know, that windows down would be great, but at least turn the AC temperature up so it's not so cold in your van. If every time I got out of my van my glasses fogged up, there's a problem. And sometimes, some days of the summer, they fog up just about any day because of the dew point being so high. But just, you want to keep a little bit more even kill. You're not going to get any big advantage, I think, from just jacking it way down, thinking that's going to help you adapt to the heat. In fact, I think it does the opposite. So I think if you leave it a nice 70 degrees or higher, because there's digital thermometers in cars now, it's magnificent. Cars are magnificent now. They have computers on them. I don't know where that came from. I grew up on cars that, you know, very simple. Very simple. They had a hot-cold dial, and there was no numbers on it, so you didn't know what temperature it was. But if you go all the way to the blue, that's bad. You want to keep a red-blue mix. It'll be more comfortable than outside, or keep the windows down. That's what I like. Put your arm out the window, throw on some rock music, probably something like, let's see, maybe something subtle like Motorhead. You can drive up to the job site, be playing Motorhead. Maybe something like King of Kings of the Game. Get a real good vibe going. Perfect for customer relations. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I just enjoyed talking about Motorhead. I think it'd be fun to drive up on a job site and there's a homeowner coming out. This nice, lovely young lady coming out. She has her children with her. And it's like, time to play the game. Seems like that'd be kind of fun. Don't do that. That's a joke. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe out there. It's really, really hot these days. And I will see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you.
Save 8% off your order at TruTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code.